We picked this wood chipper up on Facebook Marketplace for $50. It's an Italian made Caravaggi, I think. No spark. So there's no spark at all. So with everything disconnected, and there's still no spark, it looks like it's the coil. This 3/8 or 10mm bolts holding it on. Pretty easy to remove. They'll feel loose as well. And one more there. It's missing one from up there. Now, we can just feed that out under there. So we'll clean that up before we put it back on as well. Okay, so here's the coil. Let's zip that off. And do this quick. The coil has a little spade connector underneath. Change out the coil. You have to unscrew the spark plug cap. Check that there. Pull out the coil. And I'll just grab a new one. I have got one here. So there's the old one, and there's the new one. This is just a aftermarket one, but it's the same. It'll do fine. So we'll put this back in. Now, first, we'll snake the HT lead through. Put that back there. And then we have to set air gap, which is a gap between the coil, the little arm bits on the coil, and the flywheel. And I usually set my air gaps, I don't know what the spec is on this, but we'll go with 0.020. Where are we? 0.75, 0.50. That will be fine. So, just feed them around the flywheel and between the coil. Now it's magnetic, so it will try and pull it against it, which is fine. And then snug up the bolts. And we'll just check them by hand too, because that's not a very good impact. Just snug them up. Reconnect the spade connector, this is the kill wire. Goes around to the kill switch, which earths out the coil. Take away our feeler gauge. That's that done, and we're going to fit a brand new plug boot, because that one was a bit old and brittle. So we'll fit a brand new plug boot since we're fitting a new coil. And they just screw into the end of the wire. They're a little thread, a bit like a self-tapping screw. Lower shroud. Well, let's see if we can get this engine to start. I think she'll start up now, or at least get to lick off. Just got to watch out for these little springs and levers from the governor to the carburetor. So, now let's see if we get spark. Put a new spark plug there. Okay, so you should see the little spark jump across the bottom of the spark plug there. There we go. You guys see that? She's got a very good, strong spark now. I think we might clamp this down. Try and clamp this motor down so she doesn't leap off the workbench. Alrighty, so she's had a shot of ether. Engine switch is on. The choke is on. Just give it about half. Stand on this crate so that I'm pulling it up. God. clutch drum, but okay, so she works. I mean, they're hot now. Those are right. Find the socket. Nope, that's going to snap off if I try that. If I force that. So is that. Alright, just get some heat. So apply a bit of heat to the nuts. Something's happening. Let's go back the other way. And back this way. There it comes, okay. This side, a bit of heat. Do the same, eh? Penetrate. And we'll just see if this is going to come off now. It's amazing what difference a little bit of heat makes. Oh, yep, here it comes. Just come out a bit and go back in a bit just to loosen up the threads. Because yeah, if you snap it off, it's a lot of extra work. Alright, that should come out now. Ooh, it's a bit tight. It's taking quite a while, so I'd say it's a stud. Yep, the whole stud came out, but that's okay. Probably should have taken the fuel tank off before I used the blowtorch there. Okay, just 3 bolts. Hold on to the fuel tank. 3 nuts. 2 nuts and a bolt. There will be a bit of spillage. Where are we? Come on. Oh, we got a little. Yeah, there is a little clamp over there. Oh. There we go. Okay. Now, drop this blower housing again. Stuck. Alright, set that out of the way. Plug the kill switch again. Now let's remove this whole air filter assembly. Because we're going to replace all of that. Oh, there's another one in the top. Another one in the top that I always forget about. That should come off. There we go. What we're going to do now is I'm going to go and give this a good clean, and then I'll come back to you and we'll reassemble it with all the new parts. Alright, it's back from having a wash. I've also got the rust out of the blower housing and giving it a coat of paint, so that looks nice and pretty. Same with the fuel tank. I got all the rust out of the fuel tank and repainted that. So those parts look nice when they go back on. We've got a new muffler to install. Remember the last muffler was all rusted out, that's why we had to use the blowtorch to get it off. And the air filter assembly, the top half of that was missing when I got this machine. So I've just ended up buying an aftermarket complete assembly. So we'll install that as well. So let's get those bits back on, and then this motor will be finished. We'll start with the blower housing. fuel tank. There we go. Okay, so she's all back together. Hard to believe it's the same motor, isn't it? So I cleaned up and repainted the fuel tank, which was all rusty. Same with the blower housing. We fitted a brand new air filter assembly. That was all missing, if you remember rightly. And then and a new muffler. And I replaced that stud that came out. It was all just too rusty. So we got new nuts, new stud. Now, some of you might remember when we started this thing, the clutch drum was very rattly. So I checked the bearing and it turned out just to be playing the shaft. So I put a little shim in there and that's tightened that back up nicely. The bearing is good, nothing wrong with the bearing. So we'll put that back on. And the other thing I decided to replace was the carburetor. So I took off the carburetor fuel bowl. I've got it here somewhere. I took off the carburetor fuel bowl to give it a clean, and although it's all working, it is just so full of boogers. So yeah, here's the carburetor bowl. As you can see inside there, it's just absolutely full of varnish and rust and muck. So yeah, I could clean that out, but I thought I'd try and get this jet out in here and give this a clean as well. And somebody else has had a go at getting that jet out, and they've completely buggered up the slot for the screwdriver inside there. So that jet was going to be really hard to get out. So look, you can buy aftermarket copies of these carburetors. About $12. So really, not worth worrying about. Just change the whole carburetor. So I'm just going to put some anti-seize on the shaft here. Just so whoever comes along in the future, probably me, hopefully me, if I'm still around in the future, that it'll come off easily. Couple of good whacks with a hammer got her on there. Oh no, she didn't want to go on. Okay. Now, got a big spacer, nut and a washer. An impact. Good. So there we have it. The motor's done. It's all ready to go back on the chipper. Now we'll move on to the chipper and get that all cleaned up and see what needs to be repaired on that. So great news is the actual chipping mechanism, this big round wheel here with all the hammers on it, and inside here you can see the blades. They're all in really good condition, so there's no need for me to remove this wheel. And the bearings are nice and quiet, and they're in good shape, thank God, so I don't have to take them out. And as with everything I pull apart here, we've got our guest spiders. These are just common black house spiders. They're very harmless. There's one little one there and quite a big one in the web here. So if you can get him out so you can have a look at him. Come on, come out, say hello. Here he comes. You can see the fangs on him. Got quite big fangs. He's probably give you a bit of a nip. He's starting to rear up. See if we can get him to threaten us. Can you see him there? Go on, bite my screwdriver. Okay, well, we don't want to hurt him, so we'll just get them out the way. Okay. Fortunately, the bugs seem to like the yellow paint and landed in it while it's wet, so we've got a few bugs taking up permanent residency. Put a bit of grease on the axle because there's no bearings. They just sit straight on there. I guess not exactly a high mileage machine. Doesn't really need that. These little 3-inch tyres are pretty dry rotted, but they've held air, so I've cleaned them up a bit. New quick pin, which is ready to go.
Okay, it's almost finished. So we've got pretty much everything back together. The motor's on, and I've just ran the motor up, make sure it's working okay. I've got a couple of little finishing touches. There was this rubber flap at the front, which is all mutilated, which is a bit of a safety flap, stops bits of wood flying out in all directions. So I've cut and made a new one, so we've got to fit that. And we've got a couple of safety decals to go on, a couple of finishing touches there, and then she's done and we're going to go chipping.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video on this Caravaggi Italian-made wood chipper. It's turned out to be a great machine, makes very short work of these sticks I'm putting into it, and makes a nice mulch for the garden. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one, guys. Take care now.